What's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. And as usual, I'm your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year. I know it's been some time. I told y'all I was taking a couple weeks off. I damn near took a month off. But it's all right. You got to listen to your body. You got to listen to your body. But your girl is back. I am refreshed. I'm replenished. And I'm ready to get into some things, have some more conversations with y'all. I hope everyone's New Year is off to a wonderful start. And if it's not, that is perfectly fine. We got 11 more months to go to get this thing on the right track. And we're going to be all right. We're going to rock this thing out. But again, thanks for joining me back for another conversation. Thank you guys for your endless and continuous support. I really do appreciate all the support, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, everyone that's listening to me weekly, even with me not putting out episodes for the last few weeks, you guys are running numbers up and I see you. And because of that, I was able to exceed my 2,000 download mark before the new year. So I'm extremely grateful for that. And not only that, I just celebrated my 1 year podcast anniversary. So shout out to me for that. Shout out to y'all for continuing to support. Some of you guys, I've met y'all in the beginning of my journey, and it has been nothing but wonderful vibes, good energy since then. Even people that, I may not associate with as much or anymore, and I met you in this journey. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Continue to do the good work. Continue to follow your dreams. Continue to just let God lead your path. And I wish nothing but the best for everyone. So y'all, yes, your girl hit her 1 year podcast anniversary. And I was literally like speechless because I was like, oh my God, like I really did this thing for a year. And I'm so grateful for this platform. And I'm grateful to see what else God has in store for me. But we're going to get into that further in the conversation. But first, I got to continue with my mental health check. So y'all know I started the mental health checks when my second season started back in October. So we rate our mental health for anybody that's new, that's just found me or watching me. Y'all see, I said watching, right? We're going to get into some things. I start each episode with, whether it's with myself or with my guests, rating your mental health on a scale of 1 to 5 as a way to really have the internal dialogue with yourself to see how you're really doing, see how you're feeling. If something doesn't feel right, you may need some pouring in some areas, trying to really sit with those feelings and evaluate them and see what's going on. I've been very successful with doing it. I've had a lot of guests and just people in general say they're very appreciative. I take the opportunity to do that. And by all means, it's not just for show. Like I really do check in with these people either before or prior to these recordings, even with myself, to just make sure everyone's comfortable in that space and talking about whatever it is they got going on. So I appreciate you guys for just being open and vulnerable enough to share those things with me. So today my mental health is a 5. As y'all see in here, like I'm just like full of life and I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. I thank God for that. I did bring this year in a positive way, very peaceful. My last episode in 2022, I did say that my family had COVID, so I wasn't able to share a lot of those moments with them coming into New Year, but it's okay. They're all COVID free now. They're all back to their regular lives, except my mom. I have been taking care of her for the last couple of weeks because she had ankle surgery and she can't sit still. She is hard-headed, y'all, but I've been making sure she's okay, and things of that nature. So again, continue to check in with yourselves, have those internal dialogues, make sure you're feeling good, pour into your cup. Okay. Remember, you can't go pouring into everybody else's cup if your cup ain't overflowing. All right. We gotta make sure you're doing good. You need some support, you need to talk, please, by all means, reach out, whether it's to me, someone close. Please find somebody to reach out and we can find you some services, some resources, whatever it is that you may need in that moment. But do not let them feelings and emotions and all that stuff that you're dealing with just fester on, okay? I care about y'all and I want to see y'all thrive into some grateful individuals. not only great individuals, but strong-minded, but we got to keep ourselves healthy. So, and thank you to everyone that continues to check on me and my health and see how I'm doing. So far, so good this year. And like I said, I want to keep it that way, So let's get into some things. So before I, get into my topic, I do have 3 announcements. Like I, kind of let it slide through, made the comment if you're listening or watching. So many people have asked, and I have swayed away from this since starting podcasting last year. I was so against showing my face, going on camera. I am so camera shy. I feel so crazy talking to the camera. I didn't want to do YouTube, none of this stuff. However, I prayed about it and God did not answer me immediately. And I went, pretty much 2 seasons without doing any type of visuals. Well, I'm on YouTube now. I have a channel. I started literally, when did I start that channel? Sometime early I think it was the weekend. It just happened, spirit of moment. Literally woke up out of a nap and I was like told to go do it. And I'm just trying to build my YouTube channel. Right now, it will be just like, snippets of episodes, some Instagram lives. I'll upload them there, and some other video content from the podcast and conversations, and just little motivational things, just to see how this journey of YouTubing goes. See if I can step out of my comfort zone more with showing my face and being on camera. If you're watching now, hey, let me know how I'm doing. Like I said, I am dealing with like the camera shy type thing. So we'll see where this journey goes. The link will be in the description for the YouTube if you prefer to watch me. Nothing fancy just yet, but it's Chronicles of a Virgo on YouTube. Otherwise, you can just continue to listen to the audio version on any of your podcasting streaming, Apple, Spotify, Google, Stricker, wherever you listen to your podcast at. So yes, that was one thing that I did during my time off. And I also relaunched my podcast, not my podcast, my blog. So if you've been following me since day one, Chronicles of a Virgo was initially a blog because I love to write. I started it on WordPress. So back in September, I created a website and I was like, you know what, let me relaunch my blog and pull everything together. And I did that, but my writing fell off since my grandmother passed in 2020. But I wanted to get back into it because I feel like I'm a good writer, So I have started my blog again. I just uploaded my first blog entry on Monday, I believe, this past Sunday. So you guys can go check my website out, check out my blog. All of the links for those things and the YouTube will also be in the description. Let me know how things look. If I can add anything, a little tweaks here and there, let me know. Mind you, I'm just starting all this out, especially with the YouTube. And shout out to everyone that has subscribed to my channel or subscribe to my website. And shout out to everyone that's offered so much support as what direction to take this YouTube, because it's not for the weak, okay? But your girl is a one-girl show. So I'm doing all these things by myself right now. But, I'm always down to listen to advice and just anything y'all can throw my way. So thank you in advance, okay? So those are the main things that I did while I was, resting, aside from like, of course, taking care of my health and things of that nature. So I just wanted more to bring to my supporters and people that support me and listen to Chronicles of a Virgo. But not only that, I've been wanting to step into other realms. And I feel like God is like saying, move, sis. Like it's time to do it and not so much talk about it. Let's be about it. And literally, I feel like the divine timing is just like happening so fast for me. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm just going to continue to trust the process and see where this thing leads me. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's move into this topic. So my topic for today, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes, okay? Like I had to really get in with this topic. I've had so many people throughout this whole podcasting thing, whether I'm going on other people's shows as a guest or just having random conversations outside of all of this, people have asked me so many questions about my healing journey. I've talked about it a lot. My platform was started to help people heal into better individuals, but just also motivate people through my own experiences and other people. But there's a lot that I have not, disclosed. And I felt like in due time, those things would come up. So, what better way to start the year with some self accountability, but also speaking on things that I have learned and realized on my own healing journey. Now, I'm not going to give you hours and hours of this. Of course, if you would like to hear more, maybe I can do a part two, because this is only scratching the surface, honey. Okay. And like I said, I had to write it down because I feel like a lot of times I overconsume my mind with thinking. So we'll start writing more things down. And again, this is just me bringing things to the forefront. I've been in therapy, doing my own personal development work, just really trying to just be a better person, And I've realized some I call them ugly truths these last couple years. And sorry, you see me spinning. It is a habit. I don't know. Maybe I'll knock it out, but it's a comfort thing to me. See, this is why I can't be on camera. But anyway, let's go. So one thing that I learned on my healing journey was that I was going to lose friendships, relationships, and even some of the friends that I did keep and family members. The dynamics in those relationships would change. And me personally, it was a hard pill to swallow because I always wanted to keep people around. Like, I like community. And at one point I had to be the center of the community. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that I was being maybe seen more than I was being heard. And I didn't know what that all was about. And when I really started this whole personal development and healing, the real healing, doing the real work, I realized that my likings for things and interest in a lot of things, people, places, it really did change. And I realized with those changes was going to come a change of people. I didn't know it was going to be some people that was super close to me. Yeah, but overall, it's like no love lost, no hate, no bad vibes, no bad feelings. I know that we all grow and elevate at our own level. We all have our own path that we're destined to be on. We all have our own race that we're running. And sometimes we become not in alignment with one another, and that is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. So I'm here telling you that if you're on your healing journey and you realize that your friendship dynamics may change, that is okay. And I also had to realize that I had to continue to give people the opportunity to catch up to this healed individual that I was becoming, because some people were only used to me being in a certain light, meaning people pleasing, or just always depressed and anxious, just problematic in itself. They were used to that Shakita. And now that I stepped out of that version and stepping more into my higher self and this healed individual, people are like, who the hell is this girl? And I know who I'm becoming. Like, I can feel it in my bones. And sometimes I feel like I'm going to jump out my body with all of this knowledge and all this wisdom and stuff that I have. And I feel like sometimes it can be really, can't think of the word. I can think of so many words, but I can't think of a specific word. It can be very intimidating for you to throw things at people. Give people their own time to learn you if they choose to stick around, if they choose to learn those things, and give people that time to be able to be in that space with you. You know what I'm saying? If they will come around, they'll come around. If they won't, they won't. And that's perfectly fine, And I also got used to people quietly walking away, because I was so used to like chaos and hell. Now I'm just like, if we bow out gracefully both together, like nothing happened, I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as you're safe and you're doing your thing and you're just elevating and I'm doing my thing and there's no love lost, no hate, we're okay. And I have literally done that with not a lot, but a few relationships and encounters these last couple of years. And some people, like, we're still cool on social media. I don't have that hate in my body like I used to. I really did, be honest, but I don't anymore. And it's okay to lose people along this whole entire process. And I also realized some ugly truths with some of those relationships that I had, some ugly attachments with certain people, the whole trauma bonding and different things. I'm not trauma bonding, in my opinion, can be good or bad. It just depends on how you and that individual or individuals are using it. I like to see things used in a better light, never in a negative light, so I try to attach myself to people I'm going to have positive encounters with. Not saying it's always going to be positive. Sometimes negative things are going to happen. You're going to argue, you're going to have your disagreements. However, no one should be harmed physically, mentally, emotionally, maliciously in those environments. Just my opinion. So yes, that was definitely one hard truth thing that I learned on my journey. Something else that I realized was that I did not know who the hell I was in the flesh. In the human flesh, I can feel my body, feel my skin, I can see myself, but I did not know who this individual was at all. I had a lot of likings for a lot of things. My verbiage was a certain type of way. I dressed a certain way. I carried myself a certain way. But in all reality, as I shed dead skin and dead weight throughout my journey, I realized that I was still functioning from a victimhood mentality. Oof. Mm. And that was a hard pill to swallow. And that's a lot in itself to process. I personally recommend, if you're processing any type of trauma, like any type of traumatic experiences that you have endured in your life, to do it appropriately with, like, a licensed individual or even a life coach or someone, but properly do it, because depending on the level of those things, you can't get through it by yourself. And for so many years, I really thought that I could, because of my level of schooling, because of the level of corporate jobs that I have had and that I still hold now. I thought that I could do it all myself. And I realized through therapy with my wonderful therapist now that I could not do it alone. And it didn't matter how much support system I got from my friends, my family, they were not the end all be all. Like, I needed more professional help. And I'm glad that I sought it when I did, because I would not be here today to tell my story, you know? So realizing that I didn't know who I was and I had to like relearn myself again was a hard pill to swallow. But it's also like breathtaking, because it gives you an opportunity to learn new things, learn new hobbies, new interests, new likes, new foods. Put yourself out there more. I'm still getting there with the whole people thing and the COVID going on. So I'm I'm trying, but don't rush the process at all. Things will happen at the right time, divine timing, trust the timing. But do not feel bad when you realize that through your journey, you feel like you're looking at a stranger in the mirror, because that's literally what I felt. And I mean, I go through those phases sometimes, so it's a part of the process. You're going to shed skin as you continue to go in life, and that is perfectly fine. Don't beat yourself up. Them intrusive thoughts will come. The self-doubt, the pity, the victimhood, all those things will definitely intrusively take over your mind. However, the more work that you do in the inside, you will learn how to gravitate more to better resources on the outside. And I don't mean like seeking validation from other people. I mean, like, whether it's like talking to a therapist, talking to a coach, having the right support system in your place, going to read a book, meditation, yoga, working out, whatever it is, you will be able to maneuver better and utilize the right coping skills than you may have done before. Like me, way back in yonder, I would go out a lot. I used to party a lot. I used to drink a whole lot, I did. That's probably why one of the reasons I really don't like to do all that stuff now. But now, like, if something happens, I don't run to the club. I don't run to the bar. You know, I do other positive things to kind of help me get over whatever I'm going through. And it puts you in a better space. And at the end of the day, when you're all through it, you're like, damn, I'm so glad I made the right decision and I did not act on feeling an emotion at the time, because all of that stuff could possibly have consequences. So never feel bad for not realizing who you are throughout this whole journey, because this journey is all about you and it's about realizing parts of you that you want to shed and hold light on. And it's about bringing in new things so you can move further to be your higher and better self. That's what it's all about. Okay. Let's see. Again, if you see me looking down, it's because I got some notes. I'm trying to make sure I stay the course. um, I also realized that sometimes, ooh, this was really one for me. And sometimes it still makes my skin crawl a little bit, but it's okay. Sometimes you will not be the superhero in everyone's story or their life. You will sometimes be the villain. Now, for me, because I lived from a victimhood mentality for so long, everybody did it to me. You did something to me. Or if I reacted, it was because of something that you did. You hear that? Like you. There was no accountability in any story that I told. And through this healing journey, I realized, hey, what the hell accountability really means, how it feels to take accountability for yourself. And just because you take accountability is not that you're faulting yourself for whatever the circumstances that happen. It's just you're taking accountability for the part that you played in the situation, or maybe for even being involved in something for too long. Because we all can be a little petty Eddie, a little times. So realizing the ugly truth that, damn, I may be the villain in more people's story than what I would like to tell. I'm okay with that now. Because at the end of the day, I look at where are they in my story, and I'm not going to shun nobody for the experiences. I'm not going to judge anybody, because I do feel like at some point in time, we've all had to grow up. We all had to adapt, change from something, hopefully for the better and not for the worse. But for me, I can definitely say that some individuals, I may be looked at as the villain in that story. Do I apologize for the things that may have put me at that role? I do. However, you live and you learn. And as long as you try to be better and not make the same mistakes over and over again, I feel like that's all that matters. And again, it comes down to taking accountability for the things that you've done and the part that you may have played. And accountability was in this whole other category in this whole journey that I learned, because I learned the true impact of accountability, the true impact of forgiveness, not just forgiving other people for what they did to me, said to me, how they treated me, but I had to learn self-forgiveness. That was hard, because let me tell y'all, once I got to the point of taking accountability and realized maybe my part was a little more than what I thought it was, I felt like shit, because I'm like, damn, now I understand how this person may have perceived my actions or perceived what I said, even though I may not have meant it like that, but it put me in a space to understand it, which put me in a place to like dislike myself more. And it just started a whole bunch of yucky feelings, because at this time I just want to be on top. Like, you feel me? Like, I ain't never do nothing. But I had to really process those thoughts, and I had to learn to see things from other individuals and other individuals' perspective. I also learned through this journey, my communication sucked. Ooh, it sucked. Yes, I was a listener. I would listen to you, but I already knew what I was going to say. So what you said didn't make any sense. Now, I have learned the true meaning of active listening. I don't listen to attack. I don't listen to judge, beat down, dismay, or anything like that. I listen to learn. Tell me what's going on with you. Okay. Do you want my opinion? Do you want me to help? You guide me on what you want me to do. And I never try to inflict an opinion, a suggestion, that's anything that's going to like temper the person's mindset, because maybe once upon a time I used to, just keeping it real. But now it's like, I don't need no self-glorification from any of that. And it's not about Chiquita. It's not always about me. It's about other individuals as well. Not saying that I was just going out here hurting people's feelings all willy-nilly, but sometimes you don't realize that the choices you make really do affect other people. And the smallest thing, like not by listening to a person fully, can really damage someone's emotional state. What I learned through therapy is a lot of that in me came from feeling abandoned at a young age, came from feeling like I wasn't heard. I always said, in a room full of a million people, I would be the loudest one, but no one was ever listening to me. That's how I felt for many years. So when I would get in private spaces with people to have conversations and things, I would listen, but my word and my voice had to out trump yours. Now you can ask anybody in my space. I'm gonna listen to you. I believe communication in any relationship is key, because sometimes people will think one thing or think you said something and that's not what you meant. Okay, well, if I would have communicated that properly, that person would have had a better understanding of what I was trying to say, and they wouldn't have reacted the way that they did. It's all about communication. And if you don't have communication in any relationship, whether it's intimate, personal, family, work, whatever it is, you are leading down a road of destruction. You really are. And again, when you're shedding that old skin and you come in to face all of these realities, you do realize sometimes it's not always about the choices that you have made. And maybe you're responding the way that you are because of things that have happened to you. That was another hard pill for me to swallow, because I have lived a life, a long life of trauma and things and pain being inflicted on me at a very young age. And I did not realize in my adult life, I was still responding because of those circumstances. I just wanted all of that crap over with. But when I got to the point of really doing the work and I expected my therapist to fix me, but I'm gonna work this therapy and stuff out and this self-development myself too, it put me in a better space with myself. And like I said earlier, I'm truly grateful for that. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I will never, ever say I'm perfect, because that's the lifestyle I used to try to live. Everything had to be perfect. Everything had to look to perfection. This was before all the social media glitz and glams and all that stuff, honey. Trust me. If it don't look like this, the aesthetic, if it's not aesthetically pleasing, I ain't posting it. If I'm not aesthetically pleasing being out, I ain't going out. Like my relationship, everything had to be perfect. And that in itself is stressful. So just give yourself some grace. This journey can be very rocky, it can be very up and down. Literally up until a couple of weeks ago, I realized that for so long, even still going into this year, I had been surviving in full flesh survival mode. And I had been thriving in any environments. Yes, I'd be doing good stuff at work, at the podcast, and all this other wonderful stuff happening for me, but I wasn't living my life the way that it needs to be lived, because I was too busy at trying to survive any and everything, trying to dodge bullets that hadn't even come at me yet, And realistically speaking, what you prepare for, you should just expect it to happen. And a lot of times in my case, that is what happened. So you learn a lot in this journey of healing. When you're really doing the work, don't look for no shortcuts. No one's just going to hand it to you. I'm going to be real with y'all. And this is why I always say I hate social media. Sometimes people showcase their different parts of their journey. And by all means, I commend anybody who's on a personal healing or self-love journey, that's doing the work or that's not doing the work, whatever your category you fall in, by all means, do you. But every day is not flowers and sunshine. I wish we could just wake up and be at the end, but enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, because those are the things that's going to matter when you get to the end, the journey of getting there, and it will be rocky, but at least at the end of the day, once you get there, you can say, damn, I did that shit. Like I did that. No one else did it. Yes, I had support. I had resources, but I had to do the work. And that's why it's important to focus on your self-validation and not the outside people and all the chatter and the chaos, and not the validation of other people. Because as long as you depend and focus on people outside of you to determine your fate, you're not going to get nowhere. So just stay a course, and it may get bumpy. You can take breaks like I did. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna use some PTO. I'm gonna use the time. Because you got to get yourself together. If your cup is not overflowing, you cannot possibly pour into someone else. Remember that. That was something else I learned on this journey, that self-care is not selfish. I don't even think I need to go into any other parts of explaining that. Take care of yourself. Take care of your well-being, your mental health. So, so crucial. Because if you're not good for yourself, you're not going to be good and accessible to everybody else. You know, I'm not going to say you need to be 10,000% fine showing up to me, but I need you to be at least 80, 85, maybe 90. But if you're not 100 for yourself, I don't want you to come in my space and try to be 100 for me. That's not fair, So yes, self-care is not selfish. So again, I've been talking a lot, and there's so much more I learned on this journey. And if you care to know, don't mind doing a part 2 episode. Just hit me up in my DMs and my email. Let me know. We can get into some things. If there was something that I said that you want more understanding on, by all means, let me know. I don't mind explaining, digging a little deeper into these things with any of you guys. I hope that something that I said today bring someone clarification or understanding to something you may be dealing with or you've been trying to find answers to. Use me as your vessel. I have walked this walk. I'm continuing to walk this walk, and I'll continue to bring people with me that are willing to do the work, because it takes work, y'all. And that's it. That's all. So again, these are just a few things that I realized during this whole healing journey. It's still a journey in itself, but don't think that your life has to be full of healing either. Whole nother thing. My hopes is with the next couple months to bring more licensed individuals on to have these more conversations, to dig into emotional intelligence and boundaries and different things. I have some good things, some good conversations lined up. If you guys are available this upcoming Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live on Instagram with a good friend of mine. He is the host, Mr. Antonio from the Right Mentality podcast. We will be going live and speaking on Black men and mental health, another well-needed conversation that we need to have. So if you guys are available, please do tap in with us Saturday, 4:30 p.m. EST. Otherwise, catch the replay. I want to try to download it to put it on YouTube. Like I said, this YouTube stuff is new, so just bear with me. This recording will also be available on YouTube as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any more questions or anything else you want me to dig a little deeper into, please let me know. I don't mind. And like I said, I don't mind doing a part 2 of getting into some more things, just send an email. I'm about to give y'all my real email. chroniclesofavirgo22 @gmail.com. Or if you're following me on any of my social medias, please DM me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I am on TikTok. I'm on Twitter and Facebook, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on all of those platforms. Like I said, I'm on YouTube. Come follow your girl, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. All of my links will be in the description box below, as well as the link to my website. I just put my link tree in there. You guys can just go through and find the appropriate links you're looking for, as well as check out my blog. Anybody want to connect, network, do a show, whatever, just let me know. I wish you guys well. I wish you guys nothing but blessings. I hope everyone continues to take care of each other, and please take care of yourselves. And yeah, until next time, y'all, we are out.